Hey YouTube, it's me again, Lina. So initially I started off with talking about politics if I still have some of my viewers from about 2 years ago. Well, I decided, sigh, I'm going back to that, so hopefully you guys will stay with me. I'm still probably going to talk about other stuff, but I'm going to make that more my forefront. And today I want to talk to you about, here's a big one, pro-life versus pro-choice. I feel like the conservative agenda gives pro-choicers a bad name. And with a lot of the conservatives, I've noticed personally, this is from my personal experience, I'm not, saying that all conservatives are like this, but from like a lot of the conservative politicians, and a lot of the conservative people that I know, they speak about being pro-life, but then when when it's not a fetus anymore, it's a child outside of the womb, outside of the belly, they tend to not want to take care of it anymore. And to me, that's not pro-life. Pro-life is being for life even after someone is born. And my whole thing is, okay, so you're going to force someone to have a child, and what if they can't take care of it? And not to mention, the foster system in this country is messed up as it is. A lot of the I'm not saying all foster parents, but a lot of foster parents that take in these children take them in because they get a check every month from the government. So pretty much they're taking care of these children because they're getting, money for them, and not to mention they end up neglecting these kids, or the kids get lost in the system and they just, when they turn 18, they're, they end up dead on the streets or in prison. Rosie O'Donnell actually did a movie about something like this called America. Yes, I think it's called America, but America is the name of the kid who is the foster kid who just gets kind of lost in the system for a little bit, and she helps him. And I also watch Fosters, which is, I know it's TV, but a lot of these TV dramas do touch on what actually happens, and I've done research, but the foster system is a tricky thing. In fosters, though, it's not necessarily like the same thing. Like, their family did want them. It was just more the fact that tragedy happened. But in the case of America, the Rosie O'Donnell movie, that was like a thing a few years ago. Like, that wasn't the case. And anyways, media has covered it, that's what I'm saying. And it seems like we're still not doing anything about it. We're still not doing anything about these kids that get lost. And we have these politicians that are talking about, the right of the fetus. What about the right of the child? Of the child getting taken care of after the fact that it's born. You say that you're a Christian, but I feel like a lot of these people who say they're Christ-like aren't really Christ-like, because Christ, he wanted people to give, money. He wanted, everyone to give to one another, to be kind. And, charity is bad, man, because if you give those poor people charity, they're just gonna want to live off of it. No, if you give them like incentive, no one a very small percentage of people want, like, a very, very small percentage of people just want to lay around and get paid for doing nothing. Like, statistically, most people actually want to work. They want to live, you know, they want to pull their weight. And I get very angry when people say, "Oh, I'm Republican because my mom taught me how to work, blah blah blah." This was a little Latina girl who told me this, and I looked at her. I'm like, you realize the Republicans' party stance on minorities, and you're saying that the Democratic Party, which is the party that most minorities vote for because, you know, they're more sympathetic towards people than the Republican Party, because the Republican Party is just pretty much criminals in suits. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the Democratic Party, they're the same way. Both parties take bribes from lobbyists, but I feel like the Democratic Party is a little bit less evil. I'm just saying, a little bit less evil. I wish we didn't have a two-party system. My beliefs on that is very complicated, I guess. George Washington initially did not want a two-party system because a two-party system can be sort of corrupt. Well, it is corrupt. Like, because you don't have very many choices. Like, you have the choices between the Democrat and the Republican, and that really is it. And you have your so-called libertarians and, like, your Tea Partiers, but it seems like the libertarians and Tea Partiers that we've had of recent are more so sitting on the Republican side. Well, Tea Partiers, of course. Tea Partiers are just extreme Republicans. That's what they are. But, like, libertarians, that's something that I have to get into a later date, because that's something that's a little bit even more complicated. It's a little bit more complicated than what people want to believe. But this video was just kind of my own personal rant. If you need me to clear up a specific thing, comment and I will. It just was kind of like all smushed together. So comment, I'll read, post another video if needed. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye.